We're talking New Orleans Saints, Las Vegas Raiders, Monday Night Football, instant reaction, 34-24 Las Vegas. Congratulations, Raiders fans. That was a very, very impressive win, very well-earned win. I want to talk a little bit about my notes because I did a couple of features on this game this week, and this game went. It was a little bit surprising, but at the same time, it kind of unfolded the way I'd expected it to, with one obviously notable notable exception here. The first thing is Jacobs versus the Saints defensive line. It kind of went exactly as I was gonna, as exactly how I thought it was gonna go, and that the Saints defense, they would key in, they would try to stop Josh Jacobs, they would commit to stopping Jacobs, making his day rough. And that John Gruden, John Gruden would commit to stopping Jacobs in the run. So I expected him to have somewhere in the neighborhood of 3 to 3.5 yards per carry through the first couple of quarters. And wouldn't you know it, Josh Jacobs ended at 27 for 88, 3.3 yards per carry. But as I mentioned earlier in the week, what I thought was going to happen, regardless of Michael Thomas, because I thought the Saints had enough weapons to get it done this week even without Michael Thomas, I thought that by the fourth quarter, the Saints, not the Raiders, would have the lead. Therefore, I didn't think that the Raiders could commit to the run deep in that game. And you saw it in that last possession. When the Raiders are in a position to let Josh Jacobs do his thing in the fourth quarter, they're very, very tough to beat. It's going to be very interesting to see the Raiders play the New England Patriots next week. They're a very different kind of team. I'll say this too, Raiders. I knew that the Raiders' defense was better, and I knew that although they didn't play too well last year, I knew there were reasons. I mean, losing Abrams early last season was an issue. By the way, in the first quarter or second quarter, when he hit that TV thing, do we need to have the TV cameras that damn close to the stadium where a player can't run full speed and finish out a play? I hate that. I'm glad he ended up being okay because he's a definite difference maker on this Raiders defense. And he's an attitude guy too. Just seeing his attitude, his speed, his passion for play, it helps lift the other guys around him. This secondary for the Raiders across the board is flying to the ball, and I'm a big speed guy. Again, they had some injuries. They had the suspension to Burfict last season. That's behind them. Paul Guenther, very good coach. I think there was a note about him going back to like his tape with the Bengals in 2014 and how they frustrated the Saints, and the Saints were frustrated the entire game. I'll get back to the Raiders in just a second. About the Saints, I have to say, Kamara certainly played well. If I'm looking at the stats here for Mr. Alvin Kamara, finished with 13 carries, 79 yards, and 2 touchdowns. I would like to have seen more carries there, especially given how the offense, the passing game was really not quite there for the Saints this week. It was weird. Drew Brees missed a ton of opportunities, and I know Raiders fans are like, oh, well, Derek Carr missed. I know Derek Carr missed a ton. I'll get to that. Drew Brees left some stuff on the field. Again, the Raiders earned this victory. They outplayed the Saints, and I'm not partial to either team. I don't care. That's just what I see, and if you're not a big fan of either team, I think you would have to agree. The Raiders just outplayed the Saints. It was tough for them. Kamara adds 9 catches for 95 yards. Traquan Smith, 5 catches for 86 yards, but it seemed like he was making the most impact in the first half, kind of disappeared in the second. Credit some adjustments at halftime, I'm sure. Emmanuel Sanders, I have some beef here because I thought Emmanuel Sanders was going to play much better. He was awful, and I'm not even talking about him not being impactful, in terms of catches and all that. He made mental mistakes. The crackback block, I know it was kind of an iffy call, but you can do better, man. I think he dropped the ball early in the game. There's just no momentum. The Saints couldn't get any momentum. Give credit where credit is due to those Raiders, who are very tough to beat. I want to remind everybody, because I had some Raiders fans, I did pick against the Raiders against the spread. I believe it was New Orleans -6. I was wrong. I lost. I'll take my licks and move on. But I did pick the Raiders to make the playoffs as the 7th seed this year in the AFC. They are a team that is built for the postseason. I liken them very similarly to the Tennessee Titans. I think the Titans are just about a year ahead. I said even dating back to that 2019 game with the Tennessee Titans and the Raiders, the winner of that game would make the playoffs. The Titans ended up winning that game, and they went on their run. A team that can play sound defense and run the ball and stick to the run even when they're not getting 4.5 yards per carry, and Gruden will do that. That's a tough team to beat. What they need to compete on the next levels, Derek Carr's got to step his game up. I was disappointed in him. There were deep balls all game long, and I'm not saying this to throw shade. I don't care. About it. I'm looking at this as a gambler, somebody who likes to bet on games and that kind of stuff. What I say is there's 2 ways to look at it. One, you could be frustrated with Derek Carr. 2, and most likely the way Raiders fans are looking at that is, look, the opportunities are there downfield. I mean, Ruggs streaking open. He had a sure touchdown, that didn't quite pan out. He was interfered with at the end of the game. He could have had 2 touchdowns, man. Ruggs is a difference maker immediately. He's exactly what this offense needs. I don't like Renfro going out at the end of the game there with the injury. They need another receiver possession guy to come back. I haven't looked into Terrell Williams' injury status. I know he was on IR. I don't know how serious that is. I just haven't looked at it in a while. But when he comes back, assuming he does, adding him as that possession guy with Ruggs over the top, this is going to be a tough team to beat. Now, are they going to compete with New England? You're damn right. I think they will compete with New England. I think when I made my pick, I recorded a segment earlier today. I think I picked the Raiders to cover that spread. I believe their line, when I looked at it earlier today, was 6.5. Raiders plus 6.5 versus New England. Now, New England will be able to run the ball. It's just going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to watching this game. Now, I had some notes too. I got to say, Sean Payton, New Orleans Saints. It really looked like the Raiders were the better coached team. They played with more discipline. I wouldn't have said that last year. I did this year. The Saints, man, I'm telling you, something's not right. I think Saints fans would admit that as well. Again, credit the Raiders because they earned everybody's respect on Monday Night Football in their first game in Vegas. But the Saints have some work to do. Breeze looked off. That's a concern. That's a concern for an aging quarterback. But when Mike Thomas gets back on this field, man, I think it'll be fine. I'm going to have to drop the Saints in the power rankings. I'm going to have to boost the Raiders up in my power rankings, which will be out on Wednesday. So check that out sometime on Wednesday, probably in the afternoon or something. It's going to be wild, man. Let me get back to my notes here if I can find them here. Yeah, the Saints, man, Jared Cook wasn't as involved. I know they were involved in their rookie there, like Troutman or whatever. They need to find some more answers. I like Kamara, but only running him 13 times. They could have run him a little bit more to begin the game. They're using him in the passing game instead. That keeps the defensive line fresher. I don't believe in the theory that short passes equals a run. That's maybe on the stat sheet it does, but not in the physicality of football. Let's see. Waller is so good that the Raiders can use him as a decoy all season long and open things up. The Saints certainly had no answer for him. That's something to monitor for fantasy football players around the league. I'm curious to see what the Patriots do against the Raiders. You would have to assume Gilmore will line up on Waller next week, but everybody saw what Metcalf did to him, and Waller is similar physically to DK Metcalf. I don't know. I don't think that is a mismatch by any means. I actually think it might be a mismatch in the Raiders' favor. Let's see here. Carr, I mentioned before, has some work to do. Saints on discipline. Yeah, there's just some things to tie up. But anyway, there's my instant reaction. Please like, comment, subscribe. What did you see? I know Saints fans and Raiders fans, the fans of these teams look at this game from a different perspective and a different prism. So Saints, let me know what went wrong. What did the Raiders do to frustrate you? Give some credit where credit's due, for crying out loud. The Raiders did earn some respect. But what's up with Breeze? What do you think? Raiders fans, hey, I'm a man. I can admit when I was wrong. I picked the Saints to cover. And it's just the Raiders, man. If the Raiders are in a position to run the ball, if it's a one-score game in the fourth quarter, I did not think that would be the case tonight. But if it's a one-score game in the fourth quarter, it's hard to bet against the Raiders. I would take that to any of these sports books as well. Bet on the Raiders to cover the spread in the fourth quarter because they can run out the clock and they can out-physical you. Just need to see more precision from Derek Carr and take more chances, Derek Carr, down the field. And this is a team that could make a deep run, especially as they coalesce during the year. I love what this team is doing in terms of discipline. They're very well coached. They have a patient but strong game plan. Going to be fun to watch these Raiders. Saints will be back. They will. Fun game. Good Monday Night Football game. Thanks, everyone.